This is the first time that McDonald's sales have dropped since the end of 2020.
McDonald's is struggling. The brand is reporting a drop in sales worldwide. They're down by 1%. McDonald's shares have tanked by 15%. Why? Because customers find their burgers too expensive now, and many prefer to eat at home instead.
Something shocking is making headlines today. Rumors are flying that McDonald's, yes, the Golden Arches themselves, could be pulling out of the United States. And it's all because of Trump's tariffs. Now, before you panic, let's set the record straight. McDonald's hasn't officially announced a total exit, but there's growing speculation fueled by insiders, economists, and leaked supply chain reports that suggest the company is facing unprecedented pressure. Pressure triggered by the latest $13 billion wave of tariffs announced by the Trump administration. So in this video, we're going to break it all down. Why McDonald's is even being mentioned in these trade war rumors, how tariffs are strangling the fast food industry behind the scenes, and whether or not this could actually lead to a company as massive as McDonald's scaling down, relocating, or even pulling out of key US markets. If you care about the economy, business, or the cost of your next Big Mac, stick around. This is a story you won't want to miss. Let's start with the basics. What's going on with Trump's tariffs? President Trump's second-term economic strategy is built around one word: protectionism. The idea is to shield American industries from foreign competition. But the latest round of tariffs, totaling $13 billion, are shaking up more than just steel and auto. This time, Trump's tariffs hit global food supply chains. That includes beef, potatoes, packaging materials, and even machinery used in industrial food prep, all essentials for fast food giants like McDonald's. Many of these items are imported from trade partners like Canada, Mexico, China, and parts of Europe. When tariffs on those imports spike 30, 40, even 50%, guess what happens? The cost of doing business in the US explodes. And for a company like McDonald's, which runs on thin margins and massive scale, that's a big problem. Let's talk logistics. McDonald's operates over 13,000 stores in the US alone. It relies on a finely tuned supply network of farmers, distributors, packagers, and transporters. That supply network is global, and any disruption in cost or regulation sends shockwaves through the entire system. Here's what's been happening. Beef prices have surged due to retaliatory tariffs from Canada and Brazil. Paper and plastic packaging costs are up 18% because of restrictions on raw material imports. French fry production has slowed because potato processors rely on European equipment now facing steep import fees. Behind the scenes, franchise owners are sweating. Some have already started cutting back hours, delaying store renovations, or reducing menu offerings. Now here's where the rumor mill starts spinning. And it's not just wild conspiracy. Some reports suggest McDonald's has quietly explored shifting key parts of its operations outside the US, especially in food processing and packaging. Why? Because costs are lower and regulations are more stable in countries like Poland, Germany, and Singapore. Also, foreign investment into the US is dropping fast. According to recent data, FDI, foreign direct investment, is down 28% year over year. At the same time, countries like Canada and Australia are luring global businesses with predictable trade rules and better incentives. If you're a global company and your supply chain is breaking down in the US, while tariffs keep climbing, do you stick around or do you start setting up shop somewhere else? But hold on, would McDonald's really abandon the US? Let's be real. McDonald's is America. It's one of the most iconic US brands in history. Pulling out of its home market would be like Apple stopping iPhone sales in California. So, no, it's highly unlikely that McDonald's will vanish from the US completely. But a partial retreat? Not so crazy. Think of it like this. McDonald's could close hundreds of underperforming locations, shift some of its sourcing to international hubs, and double down on markets like Asia and Europe, where operating costs are more predictable. Already, McDonald's is investing heavily in places like India, the Philippines, and the Middle East. In fact, its international sales now account for over 60% of its global revenue. So while the US might remain the brand's origin story, the future of McDonald's might be somewhere else. It's not just McDonald's. The entire fast food industry is feeling the heat. Wendy's, Burger King, Taco Bell, they all depend on similar supply chains. Here's what's happening to your everyday food order. A burger that cost $5 last year? Now it's $6.50. A combo meal with fries and a drink? That's up nearly 20% in some states. Delivery fees? Don't even ask. Inflation plus tariffs equals pain. And while Trump says these tariffs are protecting American jobs, many economists argue the opposite. High tariffs often lead to job cuts in sectors that rely on global supply chains, lower consumer demand due to rising prices, companies moving operations abroad to escape high costs. So, who really benefits? What happens if this escalates? If Trump continues with his tariff strategy, some experts say we could see even more dramatic changes. McDonald's might cut off new store openings in the US, move more processing and packaging overseas, outsource jobs to lower-cost countries, focus heavily on international expansion while minimizing US growth. And the result? The US economy becomes more isolated and more expensive. Meanwhile, countries like Canada, India, and Australia get the benefits: new jobs, new investments, and more global influence. So, is this just a rumor or a real possibility? Right now, it's a rumor, but it's grounded in real facts. McDonald's is facing massive cost increases. Trump's tariffs are changing how global companies operate, and the US is becoming a harder place to do business. Could McDonald's fully exit the US? Almost definitely not. Could it scale down, shift overseas, and rethink its entire US strategy? Absolutely. And if that happens, it won't just be a fast food story. It'll be a symbol of how protectionist policies can backfire on even the biggest American brands. So what do you think? Is McDonald's pulling out? Is Trump's tariff policy helping or hurting the economy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.